Hi, this is Anatole, and this is my review of Friends Season 1, Episode 1, scored 8.4 on IMDb, and it's very difficult to talk about Friends without talking about the circumstances that surrounded its being greenlit and the part of the cultural phenomenon of must-see television that it belonged to. So let's talk about what Friends was replacing. Around 1993, Cheers had its final season and ended its 10-11-year run. And Cheers, although it got off to a slow start, because of the critical acclaim it received, it eventually became a hit with the public. And Cheers, along with The Cosby Show and A Different World and Hill Street Blues, became a block of television on a very important night for NBC. All these programs aired on Thursday, which was a crucial day for advertisers for the movie industry, because Thursday was the day they would want to air their trailers for the films that opened up on Friday. So people would make that impulse decision to go see the movie the next day. So by having a block of television from 8 p.m. to 11, where it was guaranteed people will be watching, they could charge higher rates to advertisers. So with Cheers gone, NBC needed a show to fill that gap. They just needed anything that people would like. They weren't looking for anything daring, just something to get the people tuned in. And Friends, in a crass way, fulfilled that target because it had characters of the key demographic, the young people from ages 18 to 30-ish. You had 3 attractive men, 3 attractive women to appeal to that target market, which was the most desirable for advertisers. So all this just points out that although you could always say something is dependent upon the cultural moment it exists in, you definitely can make a claim that Friends was somewhat beholden to the 90s and the block of television that surrounded it. So how does it stand up some 25 years later when it can be binged on Netflix without having to be appointment television? Well, it holds up pretty well. It does what it needs to. It introduces the characters, it gets you invested in their problems, and reveals just enough of their background so that you care. And the jokes hit at a pretty good rate. It's not as consistent as something like Cheers was, but they wisely decided to hire James Burrows for the director of the pilot, and James Burrows was the director of almost all the episodes of Cheers. So he knew that what was needed to sell this introductory episode with the audience, and that was a deft touch with the jokes and pay attention to the timing, make sure that the lines are delivered cleanly and that the audience can become invested in these characters. It's very much worthy of attention, and it'll be interesting to see if 25 years from now, so 50 years after the show is produced, it's still discussed and remembered. And that's my review for Friends Episode 1, Season 1. Take care and be well.